Hey, what's up? This is Attention here. Techwear, or technical fashion, whatever you want to call it, takes many different forms, and what we've really focused on is that ultra-modern urban dweller sort of look. So all black stuff or lots of neutral tones, slim-fitting things, ultra-modern or futuristic cuts, concealing, all that kind of thing. But it doesn't really have to be any of those things. And if it does differ in lots of different ways, then you might find yourself arriving at the style called Hikercore, or to use a trendier, more up-to-date term, Gorpcore. So we're going to take a look at exactly what this means, what defines this style, and some key pieces or brands that really fit into this look. Now we've got two terms here, Hikercore and Gorpcore, and at a base level they're used to describe those traditional or classic outdoor performance brands, but worn not just for their performance but for their looks as well. So expect to see a lot of the same brands and the same kinds of pieces that you might find on your average weekend hiker, but with more attention to the way that things fit, with attention to creating cohesive color palettes, with attention to wearing the new season clothing, brand new stuff that maybe people haven't really seen before, and an overall more youthful energy than what you might really expect. You might also see a little bit of streetwear style creeping into these kinds of looks as well. Gorpcore was a term coined in 2017 by the Cut Mag, referring to good old raisins and peanuts, aka trail mix, and I think with this word there's a little bit of an implication that people who are dressing in this style are doing so more for the look or for the appearance that they are walkers or they're interested in this lifestyle, rather than it being purely for the performance. But for the most part, I think Gorpcore and Hikercore are really interchangeable, particularly when we're coming at this from a looks perspective and we're looking at how to dress in this style as opposed to what you should be doing with it or how you should be spending your weekends or whatever. But enough of the semantics and more of the look. How can we go about dressing in this Hikercore style? In a very general sense, things to look out for are your practical, functional clothing, more relaxed or more boxy fitting clothing, but definitely not loose. We are still paying attention to the way that things fit here. We're looking much more at neutral tones with little punchy highlights of bold, bright colors as well. And collectively, that still gives you that performative look, that ready for the outdoors or ready for anything kind of style, but in a very different way to that tech ninja stuff and a lot of the black heavy things that we're used to seeing on this channel. Outerwear is of course a big one, and like with most techwear stuff, an outer shell of some kind is definitely considered important. But we have a little bit more flexibility and a bit more choice here, because not only do we have access to brighter or more interesting colours at a more readily available level, but also different cuts and different styles of jacket as well. So there's more classic or heritage features like button pockets, and yeah, this overall kind of looser fitting, more traditional style. That's all fair game here. The same applies to pants too. Again, non-black, definitely the order of the day, with a slightly more relaxed fitting silhouette. You may also find people cuffing the bottom of these, which definitely gives more of a retro look to me, and just in general, you want things that are going to be able to accommodate a chunkier trail sneaker or hiking sneaker compared to the much more form-fitting shoes that you'll often find with other techwear things. From a material perspective, alongside nylon, which is fairly ubiquitous, you'll probably see that anywhere, cotton twill is really a big one. It's very much a heritage material. It's been used for a long time, but still has a great performance aspect to it as well. It doesn't have to be all about big protective outerwear options though, because Gorpcore or Hikercore is really a style that's appropriate for all seasons, and it can be changed up depending on temperature or weather conditions. If you find yourself not really needing a jacket, for example, a nice comfy fleece, if you remember that video from a couple of weeks ago, that's going to work for you really nicely. Alongside that, you could consider a body warmer or a gilet if you're from the EU. It's a good way of getting some extra warmth whilst keeping to that classic style, and it absolutely drips outdoor performance enthusiast. Even things like hoodies and crew neck jumpers work fine depending on the brand and in context, and by using some of these other things that I talk about in this video. Even in the heat of summer, feel free to rock a t-shirt from your favourite outdoor gear brand, swap the pants for some shorts, pull those socks up nice and high, and you're ready to nail that outdoor hiker look. What have we got on feet though? Well, your Gorp enthusiast of course is going to have some performance walking sneakers, but you can leave the Peter Storm discount bargain bin jobbies at home because we're still paying attention to style and getting those contemporary looks across and wearing some actually cool brands. So for those muddy trails, definitely expect some Hoka 11 Tour Ultra Highs. They're just real nice. For things that require a little bit less chunky stuff, Salomon Speed Cross, definitely a good way to go. Adidas Terex as well, there's a multitude of options there that are going to work. Ankle support is a big plus here, but honestly any element of ruggedness is going to look good here, just to give those shoes a little bit of bulk to them, because you don't want them to get swallowed up by those more relaxed fitting pants that you're probably wearing. And feel free to get some different colours going on here as well, little accents and fun pops of different things. There's no need to just keep it to one colour or just wear black or whatever. Mix it up however you like. Luckily there's loads of different accessories we can bring into the mix to help evoke that hiker look. If you've not got your hood up, then a baseball cap in warmer weather or a beanie if it's a little bit colder, especially in a nice bright colour of some kind, both of those can really work a treat. For colder climates, I think scarves and gaiters work great, although I would definitely wear these around the neck rather than the face, particularly if you're going for a scarf. That's a very easy way to communicate a more classic style rather than the mask crazy tech ninja or futuristic techwear look. As for bags, definitely think waist bags and backpacks. The former are undoubtedly practical, they have their roots in outdoor performance style and they're available in loads of different colours and retro looks and stuff, and the latter is the ultimate choice in terms of stability and carrying capacity. So if you are serious about getting out there, out on the mountains, then a backpack is really the only way to go. As for little extra touches, definitely consider a carabiner. Clip it onto your bag or your belt, use it to carry your bottle, your keys, your Pokeballs, whatever. No one needs to know you've never been climbing in your life, just stick a carabiner on there, you'll fool them all. There's a great range of brands that can fit into this style. In the US, you've got the North Face, Patagonia, Arc'teryx. From the EU, you've got Salomon, you've got Fjallraven. Over in Japan, there's Snow Peak, Antwon, Nanamika as well. But there are honestly loads of different brands at loads of different price points. The overall market for outdoor performance gear is just massive compared to techwear clothing, for example. Nike ACG is in the newer non-Errolson Hue stuff is definitely worth mentioning as well, as it's a sub-brand that's absolutely created to help capitalize on this trend. It's got fun, playful logos, lots of bright colors as well, all attached to outdoor performance gear, much of which does have that 90s inspired, slightly retro aesthetic. The logo thing is worth mentioning actually, because in a kind of streetwear-esque way, the subtle application of logos in this style is a really important factor. It's about communicating that the wearer has the necessary performance for all kinds of conditions, and that they're kind of an in-the-know member of this adventurous outdoor culture. Fortunately, most of the brands that I mentioned like to liberally apply their logos to a whole bunch of their clothing, so that shouldn't really be an issue. But if you find yourself kind of logoless for whatever reason, and you do want to engage in that slightly logo-based culture, I suppose, then you can always pick up some kind of accessory, bags or hats or whatever, and that's a good way of kind of communicating that idea without making it a central part of the outfit. Hopefully that gives you a good idea of what this Hikercore style is all about. It's not something that I personally have experimented with too much, even though I do think it's pretty cool, purely because so much of my clothing is black. It's kind of awkward to work that into this look because black is definitely not kind of super at home with the rest of this gear. But I have worn the odd Nike ACG fit, which is a bit more colourful, and that North Face 1990 mountain parka, that could definitely work really nicely in some Hikercore fits. So there's kind of some potential around here, so maybe it's a style I'll experiment with a bit more in the future. I'd definitely consider checking out Ratterface on Instagram though. Great application of these kinds of looks in my opinion. I also found a guy called Edwin.motorbike who's got a slightly more playful take on this look. Yeah, both of those guys good for some inspiration. I'd also recommend the Nike ACG lookbooks for some inspiration, because they do a very good job of placing that clothing in situ, kind of as it's meant to be worn out there on the trails. And I think as a kind of cohesive unit, they've got a lot of quite strong looks in there over the last couple of seasons. For further reading, I've also got a couple of articles down there in the description. If you want to check those out, they give a little bit more info, a bit more background on this Hikercore style, as well as a couple of extra pictures and extra resources, etc. So if this is something that you're interested in, then have a look at that as well. But that is everything from me on what this Hikercore or Gorpcore style is all about. Let me know what you think of it down there in the comments. How does it compare to what you would normally wear? How do you like it compared to the stuff that I often talk about on this channel? Is it something that maybe you'd want to see a little bit more of? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a like because it's super appreciated. And as always, we will catch you in the next one. Shout out to Hamano, glad you like the Ecstasy in the Rain. I definitely do think that it's got a lot going for it. I'm not sure why Outlier have never experimented with slings in their jackets, but maybe it's something they should pick up. And shout out to Tom M. Every morning I practice saying ridiculous names in the mirror, so whew, I've got the skills. Thanks for making it all the way to the end of the video. If you want to check out some more stuff, there's going to be links going up at the top. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know what to tell you. Am I not good enough for you? What's wrong? Come on, just tell me. Tell me what's wrong. I should really start writing a script for those outros.